Life is a sell, and you have to be able to go through life and permanently sell yourself and your capabilities to other people. That's absolutely true. If you can't sell, you can't do anything. The thing about fitness and strength is that it ties back into the other things we're saying, because it's the ultimate sell. Like, there's not a woman alive who doesn't want a strong man. And then also, by extension, there's not a man alive who doesn't want a friend who can fight. There's not a man alive who doesn't want a man who they know can throw hands. Exactly. That's the kind of friend you want. So like, and the reason it's the best sell is because fitness and strength is probably one of the few things left on the planet you can't buy. You can buy love. You can't. You can pretend. You can buy enough love for it to look like you have love. Yeah.
You get attention from Instagram.
That's right. Yeah. You can do all that, but you can't fake being in shape. Yeah. You can go get the surgeries that doesn't look right yet. We're still in that period where if you're built like a tank, you're like, okay, he must be at least dedicated.
At least
he's dedicated. At least he's disciplined.
He could be dumb. He could be broke.
But he's dedicated. He is disciplined.
Exactly.
I'll tell you right now, if someone comes here to pitch me or try and convince me to do anything, and they're fat, I look at them like. You can't control cake in your mouth, but I have to give you how much? 300 G's. Exactly. I'm telling you. Real shit. Let's think about our brands and all of us online. If I was out of shape saying the same things I'm saying, would anyone listen?
No chance.
They wouldn't. They look and go, Tate's 38 and he still looks like a fucking tank, and he says he works hard. He must work hard. He must do it. And I mean, obviously, I'm not saying that a guy with muscles will never snake you, but it shows they respect themselves. And if they respect themselves, they probably have respect to a degree on their name. And they don't want to be known as a complete scammer because they have some self-respect. And they're dedicated, and they can show they're dedicated, and they can apply themselves. You add all these things together, it's simply easier to trust a guy who's in shape than a fat.
And you're right.
It's just easier to trust them.
It's not trying to say they won't snake you, but it's a very good first step.
And if you can sell, you can do anything. Like the number of business ideas I get sent my way, people go, I have this fantastic product. I have glasses. And you just have to sell it. And I'm like, that's all the work. You want to be 50-50 because you can provide me glasses and I sell it. But what's a better position to be in? Me being able to sell glasses and not having glasses, so I have to go find some. Or you having a flood of glasses nobody wants. So now I can sell glasses, I don't need you. Because there's a million glasses and there's one guy who can sell them. I can find glasses.
Cut them in one.
But you can't find a man who can make people want the glasses. And as a man, you're going through life trying to sell yourself to everybody. You have to sell yourself to people you want to do business with. Everything's a sell. You have to sell yourself to the man you want to fight. He has to believe that you're not afraid and that you're capable. It's a sell. Everything's a sell. You have to come. Like Usyk's superpower is that he pretends he's crazy. He ain't crazy, but you're trying to intimidate a man who's like, he's lost his mind.
I am fear.
He deliberately likes to look nuts. That's his sell. So you have to have a sell in life. And then you talk about how you have a reputable brand. Well, that's why you go to the gym and get big and strong. That's why you have a nice car. That's why you wear bling, whatever it is. So that people go, okay, he knows something about something. So when he's telling me something about something, maybe he knows something. That's right. So life is a salesman, man. You're right. It's amazing how often people go through life not understanding that everything is a perma-sell. And when you sell something, we can analyze those people who tried to make me buy the glass. When you sell something to somebody, you have to offer value in exchange for their value. A lot of people don't offer value, which is why the begging doesn't work. Give me this, I'm a nobody with nothing to give you. Well, how does that work? How does that function? How do you get a woman to like you? If you like me, you get all these things. Yeah, life's a value exchange. Yeah, you have to sell yourself with everybody all the time. That's what you should do. In fact, you'll notice this because the best salesman I ever knew, and I'm from a different generation, I'm old, but like salesmen, like Windows salesmen or salesmen, phone salesmen used to call people up. They couldn't speak to a girl without flirting because all they knew was how to sell. When they spoke, they were trying to pitch someone for something, even if she was ugly. I'd be like, why are you even doing that? Talking to her? It's like, well, I'm talking, so I may as well make her want me. I just talk. I'm just that guy. I just talk.
He's just gonna sell.
He just sells himself all of the time. And you're right, that's a really important thing. A lot of people in the world don't understand it today, and it's because some businesses change. You can get through crypto and make some money without ever selling yourself. But if you want to sell a project, you have to make people believe in it. So yeah, life's a sell. It always has been. It always will be. Everything's a sell all of the time. It's super important. And the saying is very simple, is that everything's a sell. And it's completely true, especially in a disadvantageous position. That's when everything's a sell even more. People say to me, but how would you sell this negative? Or how would you sell that negative? And my answer is, if it's a negative, it's even more important that you sell it.
Yeah, of course.
You could take the biggest negative in the world. You could last 2 pumps in bed, right? Worst negative. But if you're gonna sit there and say to the girl, oh well, just warning you, I'm only 2 pumps in bed, blah, blah, you're never gonna last. You have to put a sell on it. You say, bitch, I'm busy, I'm making money.
You ain't have time to
I got time. I'm gonna fill you up and I'm back to work. I ain't got time for this.
I need some bus.
I got stuff to do. It's a bus. Go. I'm getting rich.
You ain't worth my time.
Should I? He's the man.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
That's right.
Yeah, I get it.
Everything in life is a sell. And we made it very clear, all the advantages of those things. You have to put a sell on everything all of the time. If you have a girlfriend and you lose all your money and you say to your girlfriend, I'm broke now, she's going to leave. Do you say, look, something fantastic's happened. I put all this money into all these projects. They haven't paid off yet. Now we're going to have to live Spartan for a little while, but this is important because when it pulls off, we're going to appreciate how rich we became. Because now we're going to live Spartan for a couple years, then we're going to be f***ing rich. Put a sell on it. You lost all your money on a meme coin. It doesn't matter. You got to put a sell on it. But that people don't do that. They just sit there and go, I lost everything. Feel sorry for me.
Feel sorry for me is
and then she ends up Tristan. And it's going to get harder and harder for anyone out there who's not prepared to compete. Because it's a competition. Everything in life, every single day, as a man, is a competition. Why am I still working all day, every day? Because I want to win all of the time. And even more importantly than win, I want everyone else to lose. It's having a brotherhood and people around you who are going to constantly push you and remind you of the fact that no matter how rich you think you are, you're not the richest.
Yep.
Bro, Elon's still trying to get richer.
Yeah, bro.
Imagine Elon Musk is waking up each day trying to get richer, and you aren't trying. Make that make sense to me.
Bro, yeah.
You have to be the kind of person who tries. And then, this is something I was thinking about the other day. It's actually funny when you talk to most men about their ailments or what's stopping them getting ahead. It's what they think in their mind, and I sit and say, so a thought beats a thought that you created beats you. Like you're struggling with a thought that you made. Think about that. You're not in a trench in Ukraine. You're at home struggling with your own head for a thought that you made up, and now it whooped your ass. Bro, think about that. I'm gonna think of a thought, and then it's gonna control me and wreck my life. Fuck the win. You have to lose. That's where the joy is. The joy's not in my winning. The joy's at looking at the man I beat, knowing he lost.
Yeah.
That because the loss always hurts more than the win feels good to the winner. The emotional spike of winning doesn't compete to the emotional devastation of losing.
Yeah.
So that's how you gotta go, all right, I don't give a f about the win, I'll be happy if I win. No. He has to lose in front of his wife, his kids, everyone who came here to see. Everybody who believed in him has to watch him lose. Because I did it. And that's the joy of it. And that's why people like Elon, that's why all the winners of the world are still trying to get rich. It's funny, a lot of people go through life not viewing it as a competition, whereas that's how I view life all of the time.
It is.
If I drive down the street, I'm looking around, there better not be a car sexier than mine. I better have the baddest whip. I better have the baddest bitch and the baddest whip. Otherwise I get mad. If something comes up,
you gotta buy that one.
if something comes up next to me, I'm like, that maybe some people might think that one's as good as, not even better. As good as. Nah, carbon fiber everything, gold plate mine. I have to do something because everything is a permanent competition all of the time. That's the masculine realm. It always has been endless competition. That's all it's ever gonna be. If you're competing with every other man on earth and you're the kind of person who only acts when they're motivated, you're gonna always permanently lose against the men who act when they're not motivated because they're gonna act more often than you.
Yeah.
So it's like as soon as you say I'm the kind of person who needs motivation, what you're saying is I'm a loser.
Yeah.
And I've lost.
It's like when you don't want to train, when you don't feel like training,
that's when you have to train
anyway. That's when you have to train.
That's right. And it's compounding interest. If you have a guy who goes to the gym and tries 70% every day, as opposed to a guy who goes gym and tries 100% when he feels like it, the 70% guy's in shape.
The 50% guy's in shape.
The 100% guy ain't.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line. You're never gonna feel like doing the things you're supposed to do. That whole mind frame is the wrong frame to look at it. You need to make a list of things that you must do and you need to do them anyway. And that's how you become a winner in this global, never-ending, permanent competition. It's a global, never-ending, permanent competition. And no matter how far ahead you get, you have to keep trying to get bigger and get further ahead, otherwise you're gonna end up crushed. Think about it. If you go gym, think about a guy who's in perfect shape. He'd be happy even if he stayed the same. But he goes to the gym trying to get bigger. Yeah. To stay the same, he's trying to get bigger.
Yeah.
I'm training my ass off. I'm happy how I look. I just don't want to lose it. Yeah. And I'm still trying to get stronger. Yeah. You have to be like that with absolutely everything you do. Because the world's permanently moving and stars are tearing through space and the earth is spinning and you're either going up or down. There is no still. You're either going up or you're going down in all things. There's no such thing as still. So I have very little sympathy for people who are sad because truthfully the truth of it is if you're working as hard as you should be, you ain't got time to even think of it. I ain't got time to notice, I'm working. I got shit to do. How
much money we made this year?
100 million. By the time I finish my work, I'm tired now and I have to recharge for the next day. You have time to sit around thinking about being sad, and that means you're not. Have you done your training? Obviously not enough, because you have plenty of time in the day to sit around talking about this bitch who don't want you anymore. Like, well, like what else? You should be too busy for that. You can outpace negative thoughts by simply just working like an animal.
Yeah.
You can outpace them by just working like an animal. You won't feel sad if you start training 3 times a day. Yeah, but it's super important. The better you become as a person, the better friends you have, and then the more accountable they hold you, and then the better you become as a person, and it's a positive spiral. There's so many negative spirals we talk about, people on the internet, where people say, oh, you know, I started gambling, started drinking, and my life just spiraled down. But your life can spiral up just the same if you start actually taking things seriously. It's amazing how your life can spiral up. There'll be some people you have to leave behind. There'll be some people who you won't, and there'll be some people you meet along the way. But an upward spiral is just as real as a downward spiral. And people only talk about the downward one because the downward one doesn't require discipline. The downward one is just acting on whims and trying to be happy. The fastest way to end up in a downward spiral is to wake up as a man and say, what will make me happy? How do I get happy? Well, drinking and gambling and chasing women, whatever. You may be temporarily happy, but your life's fucked. Because if you wake up and say, let me do what I'm supposed to do, before you know it, it's an upward spiral. Fuck the happiness. The happiness is for the girls. Yeah. Happiness is for children. Yeah, happy. You make other people happy as a man. That's the happiness is for everyone else. I talk about these things a lot, but there's no light without dark. That's the best thing about life. The best thing about life is the suffering and the bad times.
100%.
You don't appreciate money unless you remember being broke. And you don't appreciate having a good girl unless you remember that silly who you cared about, who was around. Then when you get a good girl who's loyal and behaving, you're like, now I appreciate you. If they were all like that, you wouldn't appreciate any of them. The worse it is, in fact, the better it's going to be. The farther a ball drops from, the higher it bounces. Yeah. So if that girl's really with you messing around, that's good. So when you get a good one, you'll appreciate her, and you'll appreciate. There is really no negatives in this world. And if you're truly about it, if you really want to be the kind of guy who wins, you don't have time to wait. You don't wait for an arbitrary date in the calendar. You know, that's the reason that New Year's resolutions don't work is because people deliberately wait for New Year's, which proves that they never had it. They were never about it in the first place. Yeah. That's the beauty of masculine competition. That's the point. If even as hard as I train, if I lived alone with a chick, I wouldn't train like I do training with all you guys. All you guys are here training every day, so I have to train every day. But no, that's the beauty of it. So these people, when I was saying that motivation is actually an annoyance, not only when people ask me for it, but even the idea of me being motivated myself, I've removed beyond that frame. Because if you focus on something, it becomes real. If you start waking up saying, I'm not motivated today, then you're going to wait for the days you're motivated. Forget the idea of motivation. Forget it. It doesn't exist. It's not real. You have to perform every single day if you want to stand a chance of winning. So it doesn't matter if you're motivated or not. On the days you are motivated, it's like finding 20 pounds in your pocket. Okay, you got lucky. Whatever. But most of the time, you just got to do it yourself and go and get it. Whenever anyone...
nothing in your
100%.
Exactly.
Whenever someone says to me, oh, I need motivation, the second they say that, my first thought is you're an idiot.
Yeah.
And you're born to lose.
100%.
You're born to lose because the men who win, they've never asked anyone for motivation. Ever. They just wanted to do it.